All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a story that's been unfolding for years, a story about a truly revolutionary technology, its hidden potential, and really the two different minds that have completely shaped its destiny. You'll see, this isn't just about lines of code. It's about a potential blueprint for a whole new kind of civilization.
So get this, for the better part of 2 decades, a world-changing idea has been sitting right there, right in front of us. The problem? It's been locked away, stuck behind this massive wall of super complex technical language that honestly keeps most of us on the outside looking in.
And that's the big question we're digging into here, right? How can something with so much promise, so much potential, still feel so accessible? You have to wonder, have we gotten so lost in the jargon, in the mechanics of it all, that we've kind of forgotten why we build technology in the first place? To serve people. To figure this out, you got to go back to the beginning, to the first key figure in this whole story, Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, remember, he showed up right after the chaos of the 2008 financial crisis, and he saw the world's problems like a true engineer, problems that could be solved with logic and with code.
This table just lays it all out so clearly. His whole perspective was technical. It was all about how it works. And what did he create? A chain that links data blocks with, and this is key, uncompromising honesty. So what's his legacy? Well, he built the finest, most powerful engine imaginable, but he left most of us just standing there staring blankly at it with no idea how to even turn it on.
And that engine? That's blockchain, of course. This definition is so important. A chain that links data blocks together with uncompromising honesty. It's basically a machine that's built from the ground up for trust and for integrity.
And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. Satoshi gave us this incredible, game-changing piece of machinery. But what good is an engine if no one gives you the keys, or even tells you what it's for? It was a masterpiece of engineering for sure, but it was basically out of reach for almost everyone.
All right, so that's part 1 of the story. Now let's bring in the second major player here, Block Nova. And notice the description, not an engineer, but a civilization architect. See, his focus wasn't on the gears and pistons of the engine, it was on the people who would actually live in the city that the engine would power.
You see the shift here, right? It's huge. Block Nova isn't focused on how it works, he's all about what it is and why it even matters. He calls it DNet, a tyranny-free internet, and WebGold, a way to create real wealth on that network. So his legacy? It's about taking that incredible engine that Satoshi built and actually using it to build a home for everybody.
So let's break down these 2 big ideas. The vision is simple, but it's massive. An internet that's free from the control of a handful of powerful companies, and they can actually turn the things we do every day into tangible value. It's a promise of freedom, yeah, but also prosperity. The focus shifts from the tech itself to the amazing life it could enable.
And I love this quote. It just perfectly sums up the whole goal. The idea is to make the technology so seamless, so easy that it just disappears. You don't have to think about it. It just works. It becomes as natural and as effortless as breathing.
So, we've got the engine and we've got the architect. Now let's really get into why this transition from one to the other is being called a super masterpiece, because it really is about a huge change in both the language we use and the entire philosophy behind it.
This just lays it out, plain and simple. On one side you have blockchain, that's the language of mechanics, of code and systems. But on the other side, you've got DNet and WebGold. And that's described as the language of free people, a language focused on things like sovereignty, dignity, and real wealth. It's a fundamental shift from talking to machines to talking to humanity.
You know, this metaphor is just perfect. The idea is that Satoshi didn't just build an engine. He left behind a gift for all of us, these golden bricks, Bitcoin and blockchain. But here's the thing, a pile of bricks isn't a home. The narrative here is that Block Nova is the one picking up those bricks and actually building something with them, a temple of sovereignty called WebGold.
Now, this whole thing isn't just some abstract idea, right? It's all tied to a real specific moment in time, the launch of eGold Chain. This is the platform that's designed to make this vision a reality, and it's being presented as more than just a product launch. It's a full-on declaration of a new era.
And this launch kicks off this huge 3-part declaration. The first part is a big one. The era where humans must bow to big tech is over. That is a direct challenge, a line in the sand drawn against the current power structure of the internet.
And then comes the second part. The era where you must be a programmer to access freedom has ended. Basically, the keys to digital freedom are no longer going to be guarded by a small group of technical experts. The gates are being thrown wide open for everyone.
And that leads to the final epic conclusion. It's not just about what's ending. It's about what's just starting. The era of DNet and WebGold has begun. This is the announcement, the arrival of a completely new way of thinking, of living, and of interacting online.
So what would this new normal even look like? Well, it's built on three main ideas. First, the technology just fades into the background. It works so well you forget it's even there. And second and third, wealth and sovereignty, they stop being these rare things people have to fight for and instead become the default, the new normal for everyone.
And this last quote just ties it all together beautifully. Satoshi forged the key, an amazing, powerful key. But a key doesn't do you any good until you find the right door. The vision being presented here is that WebGold isn't just opening a door, it's leading us into a permanent home, a digital place where our ownership and our sovereignty are absolutely guaranteed. A really bold vision for what the future of the internet could be.